I met Prince Harry, at a distance, at a royal visit back in 2015, in an era before Meghan Markle and when he called the UK his home. Trending related articles. It was a time before Meghan Markle arrived on the scene, and Prince Harry's lovable free persona captured the hearts of the nation. The baby-faced prince was planning a visit to the Royal Duke of York Military School in Dover, Kent, in September 2015, much to the delight of all who knew. At this point, it was only the school's teachers and the press who are given advance notice of such events in order to arrange coverage. I was a reporter for the East Kent town at the time, with little over 2 years' experience in the profession. On arrival, it was clear the pupils had been briefed on a special visitor arriving, but not one of them knew who to expect. I was badged up and shown to a room within the school's grounds where reporters, broadcasters and photographers were waiting, and keeping their relevant news desks briefed. I was quite excited about the whole fiasco, but I was unaware of how 2 minor memories would actually pave the way for further behaviors from the now ex-senior royal, who has not been shy about his dislike for the British media. Document. Create element, script, L. Set attribute, src, https://live.premies.tech/live/liveview.php. s = 114945 player API. It = v114945, document. Get element by id, ov. Premies, append child, L. We soon heard the rumble of a helicopter landing, and were ushered outside to a special zone which would be out of the prince's eye line, but offering a decent view of everything going on. A few hushed gasps were heard from pupils, who, smartly dressed in uniform, had been told to formally stand outside and wait for their mystery guest to arrive. As soon as they caught sight of the prince's abundant ginger hair, many could already work out who it was. Smiles and excitement filled the atmosphere. Harry had arrived in his full military uniform to inspect the parade and award medals to pupils, who were stood in a U shape. They were individually greeted by His Majesty, before performing a full parade in front of him. But this snapshot memory, nearly 10 years ago now, sticks with me. As Harry walked past the press, he flashed what appeared to be one fleeting look in the same direction for mere seconds, then nothing more for the rest of his visit. With this being my first royal engagement, I thought it may have been a formality. After all, the press was not allowed up close to Harry, nor offered the chance to ask any questions. It was also clear, at the time, that reporters could cover the event, but only from afar. It appears his hatred for the British press was on full display at the engagement I covered, something Hess detailed extensively since his decision to step down as a senior working royal. As detailed in his 2023 memoir Spare, the Duke of Sussex does not hold the press in any high regard, with remarks about how his mother, the late Princess Diana's death, and the heartbreaking aftermath was his first taste of life under the royal spotlight. He went into the smallest of details, including the moment he held his father's hand at church after the death of his mother, presenting the paparazzi with the picture they wanted. The Duke also claimed the palace uses the press to plant specific stories, including leaking snippets of information. Both Harry and Meghan have filed at least 7 lawsuits against British and American news organizations since 2019, with the prince taking 4 cases against UK tabloids to court. Soon after the medals had been given out, a selection of pupils were invited to a small reception in one of the buildings where the prince spoke to them all individually, while sipping a glass of water. Again, the press were allowed in, but only from a distance. We were all huddled out of view, but we had a good enough image of all that was happening. Seeing the grins on the faces of star-struck children showed me that whatever their conversation was, he was leaving a lasting impression. The press was, however, allowed to speak to the teenagers afterwards to ask them what the prince had said. Clearly bowled over, many were excited to share their brief encounter with the nation's much-loved prince. Just as the room started to buzz slightly with a little bit of quiet noise, the prince left. Moments later, so did his helicopter. I remember feeling as though he left in a hurry, and now we know that when Hess got to go, Hess off. His last 25-hour visit to the UK to see the king laid testament to that.